is core and floor, and this is the first occurrence of this class. Just something fun that will be, in essence, something that we all need. And the intent is to get into the inner layers of the core and really engage at a much deeper level that sometimes our more dynamic movements don't fully facilitate. So mindfully paced practice today, and then just doing your best to tap into that innermost layer as you can, and I'll do my best to reinforce that as well. So we have our weighted balls, and for those that are joining online, if you don't have a weighted ball, a small dumbbell, or even just going without is totally fine, and then 2 blocks. As always, you can set the props aside at any point if you don't feel like that's what you need in your practice today, and we'll just kind of go from there. So to begin our practice, set your block and the ball about halfway down the mat so that you can access it when we are on the back, which is where we'll begin. So go ahead and lower your back down to the mat. Maybe the legs extend out long, take up space, or bring the bottoms of the feet together if that would feel nice for you this afternoon. Close the eyes. Soften the jaw, and breathe. We have 45 minutes to celebrate the body, to tap into the strength that resides within, and to further foster and fuel that strength. Invite the breath into the body as fuel, as replenishment, as the energy that will serve you in your practice today. Inhale, fill up, fill the belly, expand the chest, brief pause at the top, full exhale. Inhale, fill up. Explore the space that's available to you. Full exhale. Soften the space between the eyebrows. Allow the shoulders to melt firmly down on the mat. The hips are heavy. As we begin our practice this afternoon, we allow ourselves to be here fully. Whole self invited into this practice. Inhale, fill up. Extend the fingertips up overhead. Find a full body stretch. Reach the fingertips, point the toes. Exhale, gather the knees into the chest. Wrap the hands around the shins. Perhaps rocking side to side to massage the spine, or just to be still if you need more stillness in your day. Inhale, fill up. Feel the low back press against the mat. Exhale, release the knees to the left side of your mat. Extend the right arm to the right side and shift your gaze in the same direction, off to the right. We feel both shoulder blades releasing down to the mat, feeling a twist through the torso. Invite the breath into this shape. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, engage the core and guide the knees back to the center. Wrap the hands around the shins. This time lifting the head up, perhaps forehead makes contact with the knees, rolling the body into a little ball. Feel the low belly press against, or press towards the earth. Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, knees release to the right side. Release the head and shoulders back down. Extend the left arm to the left side and shift your gaze in the same direction. Feeling lengthening in the twist to the opposite side. Shoulders are heavy down on the mat. Full breaths. Explore the space in the front body and the back body. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, engage the core, guide the knees back to the center, wrap the hands around the shins, lift the head up, guiding the forehead towards the knees, roll the body into a little ball. We'll stay here for multiple breaths. Explore the core engagement here. So we feel the low belly guiding towards the mat, bottom set of ribs cinching in towards one another, really activating the innermost layers. Good. Surrender the head back down to the mat. The right hand comes to the bottom of the right foot, angling the right foot to face the ceiling, half happy baby on the right side. The left leg extends to a hover above the mat. Flex through the left foot. We feel the low back tilting and making contact with the mat in this shape. So feeling a nice gentle opening through the right hip, right groin. Left side body is a bit more active. Still flexing firmly through the left foot. Breathe. Head and shoulders are heavy. Working through the isolation of which muscles are activating. Good, and we'll switch other side. So guide the left foot into half happy baby. Right leg comes to a hover. Flex through the right foot. Checking in with the tilts of the pelvis, so the low back is rocking and touching the mat. Breathe. Low belly guides towards the earth. Good. 2 more full breaths. So as with everything, we choose our intensity here. If this feels easy and you want it to feel more challenging, engage deeper. Good. Exhale, right knee comes up, full happy baby this time. So bottoms of the feet find the hands, bottoms of the feet face the sky. Knees are up underneath of the armpits. Good. Exhale, guide the bottoms of the feet together. And then wrap the hands around the feet, guiding the feet in towards the belly. We feel an opening through the pelvic floor as we come into this reclined butterfly shape. Engage the pelvic floor. We're still able to breathe while maintaining the engagement. So acknowledging the pelvic floor as the root of the core Mula Bandha. So we're really tapping into 2 bandhas within our practice today. Mula Bandha at the pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha at the low belly. Still maintaining the engagement at the pelvic floor. Still finding steadiness and depth within the breath. Inhale, fill up. Full exhale. Inhale, fill up. Good. Exhale, release the feet, guide the knees in towards one another and rock and roll, taking a couple of passes lengthways on the spine. We'll still settle back onto the back after making a couple of passes here. Good, and surrendering the back down onto the mat. Plant the feet about hip distance apart. And we'll find the block. Place the block between the knees or between the thighs, whichever is most comfortable for your anatomy and your proportions. Surrender the shoulders down to the mat. Palms can face up or down, does not matter. Walk the feet about hip distance apart from one another and then just out of reach of the fingertips. We're setting up for a bridge pose. We have a press of the knees to the block, a gentle press as if it were a carton of eggs. We would not crush the eggs and we would also not drop the eggs. Inhale, fill up. Full exhale. Inhale, lift the hips towards the sky. We'll stay here for multiple breaths. Explore the pressure that you're placing on the block. Be very mindful, envisioning it as if it were a carton of eggs. We feel the glutes are firm. Pelvic floor is engaging. Low belly active. The quads are also assisting in this lift. Guide the hips towards the sky. Big inhale, fill up. Hips elevate a little bit more. Long exhale for a slow descent of the hips down to the mat. Inhale, heading back up, hips to the sky. Staying here for multiple breaths, really explore the activation, which muscles are assisting, thinking pelvic floor, low belly, breathe. Inhale, fill up. Long exhale lowers the hips down to the mat, just a tap. Inhale, hips to the sky. Drive them up, really pressing firmly through the heels. Glutes and quads are strong. Check in with the breath. Head is soft, neck is resting. Big inhale. Exhale, lowers the hips back down to the mat. Good, we'll set the block off to the side. Keeping the feet rooted down on the mat, we're pressing up into a full sit-up. So if you are able to press the feet onto the mat the whole time as you press up into a seat, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, if they lift up, that's fine too. But doing your best to engage up into a sit. It's a lot harder than it looks. Awesome. So we'll find that block again. We'll place it between the knees here as well. Good. Plant the hands behind you. Fingers can angle whichever direction feels best for your wrists. So the feet are out in front of you. We're pressing up, feet lift. So we're engaging that same press of the knees to the block. Beautiful. Perhaps the shins come up to a parallel, anywhere within this range that feels best for your body. Good. Tap the toes or heels down. Press up. Good. Press the toes or heels down and up. Good. Continuing at your pace. Press up. Check in with the breath. We feel the press of the knees to the outside of the block. Yes, good. Shoulders stay broad, shoulders are back and down, heart is lifting. Beautiful, long spine. We're here for 3. We'll set the block aside in 2. And 1. Feet are down, set the block aside. Now we'll find the ball and place the ball in the hands. The feet are completely down on the mat now. We can have heels down, toes down, or full foot, and they are going to feel a little bit different, so explore what works for you. Press back to the point where we feel the low belly really begin to fire up. We have the ball between the hands. Press back, back, back. The range that we're staying in is active the whole time. So resisting that urge to sit up to a full upright. Stay with the lean the whole time. We can certainly extend the arms out farther or closer to the chest. Wherever you are, we're breathing, feeling strong with a tall spine, shoulders back and down. Beautiful. We'll hold at our lowest point in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press back, hold. Breathe. You got it. Long spine, heart forward and up. Beautiful. We're here for 5. We'll press up to a seat in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set the ball aside, maybe coming into a cross-legged position or however is comfortable for you to sit. Sits bones root down to the mat. Exhale the air out. Inhale, reach the fingertips to the sky. Left hand finds the right wrist. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale to center, release the grip. Exhale, other side, right hand, left wrist. Good. Inhale to center, release the grip. Exhale, press the palms together at heart center. Close the eyes and invite an intention into your practice. Inhale, fingertips reach up. Exhale, hands plant to the mat. Shift forward, tabletop. Guiding the knees underneath of the hips. Spread the fingers wide with the palms of the hand underneath of the shoulders. Inhale, extend the crown and heart forward and up. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Take a few more passes, moving at the pace of your breath. Certainly giving yourself the freedom to explore variation in movement. We could flip the wrists or the palms around. Maybe even just close your eyes. Don't worry about anything except for what is going on inside. Exploring all the joints, sending the breath into every nook and cranny. And eventually settling into a still tabletop position. Spread the fingers wide. The entire hand is pressing down on the mat. Extend the right foot behind you with the ball of the foot down on the mat. We're active through the right leg with the heel pressing towards the wall behind you. Zip up through the inner thighs as well as through the low belly. So we bring the hip points to the same height away from the earth. And then lift the right foot up, maintaining the same height of the hips. Beautiful. Engage the breath. Top of the head is reaching towards the front of the room while the bottom of the foot reaches to the back. Option to stay as you are or extend the left hand forward, pointing the thumb skyward. Shoulders are at the same height. Hips are at the same height. Low belly is reaching up towards the spine. Continue to breathe. Good. Really zipping everything up through the center line. On your inhale, extend the hand and foot just a little bit higher. Exhale to that neutral long line. Inhale, lift the hand and foot maybe a few inches. Exhale to the center long line. Good. Inhale, fill up. We feel the glute squeeze as we do this as well. Exhale to neutral. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Good. Exhale, tabletop. Release the hand and the knee. Good. We'll flip the fingertips to point towards the knees, giving the wrists a bit of a stretch, perhaps shifting the weight back ever so slightly. Whatever feels comfortable within your range. Good. Angle the fingers back forward. We'll explore this movement on the other side. Beginning in tabletop. Extend the left foot behind you, beginning with the ball of the foot on the mat. Activate through the left leg and finding where the hips are at the same height as one another. Maintain that same height of the hips and then lift the left foot up. Really reaching the bottom of the foot towards the back wall with the toes still angling down at the floor. Option to reach the right hand forward, thumb points to the sky. Zip the bottom set of ribs in, low belly up, reaching into the depth of your engagement. The shoulders are at the same height, hips are at the same height. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, feel the stability. Inhale, hand and foot rise a few inches. Exhale to neutral. Inhale, find your height. Exhale to neutral. Continue at the pace of your breath, being really mindful of the center line of the body. Zipping everything up towards that center line. Good, a subtle movement. Beautiful. One more, inhale, rise up. Exhale, tabletop. Releasing hands and knees back down. Good. Curl the toes under and then walk the feet to the top of the mat. Bend the knees generously, forward fold. Surrender the heart and head to be heavy. Breathe.
We feel gravity on the spine in this shape. Surrendering into the forward fold. Good. Inhale, half lift. Reach the heart and head forward, engaging through that low belly here as well. Acknowledge the pelvic floor, zipping up, root to the core. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Fingertips reach. Exhale, hands release on either side of you. Heel till the feet underneath of the hips. Spread the toes wide. Tadasana. Close your eyes. Melt the shoulders back and down. Lift the kneecaps. Engage the pelvic floor. Acknowledge that center line of energy running through the body here as well. Pelvis is tilting upright. Bottom set of ribs in. Invite the breath. Shoulders down. Crown up. Big inhale, fill up. Exhale to empty. Spread the feet wide. Inhale, sweep the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. We'll find the two blocks. Place them on their tallest height on either side of the feet. The right foot stays forward. Step the left foot back. Runner's lunge. So in this shape here, very much so wanting to be able to do this shape without the blocks, so that activation remains the same with or without the blocks. Heart and crown reaching forward, both legs really active in this shape, zipping up through that center line, but using the props as a nice tactile reminder to be able to lengthen and further activate. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, surrender the left knee down to the mat, untuck the toes. We'll guide the hands to the top of the right knee. A gentle press forward, and then feeling as though the inner thighs are like a scissor, and we're wanting to close the scissor. So guiding the inner thighs towards one another, really squeezing as if you could roll the mat up with the back knee and the front foot, squeezing them in that same direction. So we feel the right hamstring fire up, as well as the front of the left hip, squeezing everything in and up. If this feels easy, dig in a little bit deeper, make it feel really hard. Breathe. Innermost, deepest, strongest muscles are assisting in this squeeze. Maybe the legs are shaking. Really seek out that shape and that shake with the depth of the posture. Breathe. Inhale, fill up. Good. Exhale, send the hips back. A moment of rest as we flex the right toes skyward, reaching the heart towards the toes. So beginning now to lengthen through the right hamstring that was just working so hard in that squeeze. Breathe. Big inhale, fill up. Exhale, shift the hips forward, hands find the blocks. Lift the left knee up and step the left foot about halfway towards the top of the mat, setting up for a pyramid pose. So a little bit deeper yet, reaching into the front hamstring or the right hamstring. Option is stay in your half lift. Otherwise, surrendering the heart towards the toes here as well. We are pressing firmly into the ball of the right foot, activating the posture. Right hamstring, feeling very much seen in this shape. Both kneecaps are lifting. Here for 2 more full breaths. Good, and then after your 2, inhale to half lift, step the left foot forward, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Left foot stays, right foot steps back, runner's lunge. Finding our active runner's lunge shape, option to use the blocks or extend the hands behind you. Really zipping up through the inner thighs here, strong core, low belly is lifting up off of the thigh. Long spine. Invite the breath. Create intensity in the shape. This is all inner work. We can find this shape and have it feel really easy, or we can find this same shape and make it really challenging, and that is all personal choice. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, surrender the right knee down. Untuck the toes. Bring the hands to the top of the left thigh. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another as if you're trying to close your scissors. Pelvic floor active, lifting up, cinching up from the base of the core. So the front foot is pressing firmly into the mat, trying to squeeze towards the back. Left hamstring, really strong, really active. Shoulders melt down. Good. I see the intensity in the faces. This is awesome. You got it. Keep squeezing. So if you wanted to close the mat, roll it up into a ball underneath of you. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We're here for 2 more full breaths. Make them count. So strong. Exhale, send the hips back. Half split, hamstring stretch. Guide the heart towards the left toes. Left foot is active. So now that we warmed up through the back of the left leg, we'll ask for that lengthening, active lengthening. Breathe. 1 more full breath here. Inhale, shift forward. Setting up for pyramid pose. Tuck the right foot under. Stepping halfway up on the mat. Right toes angling to the top right corner. Press firmly into the ball of the left foot. Beginning and or staying in your half lift. Option to fold. Neither is better than the other. They are just different. So in either variation, we're feeling the back of the left leg being tapped into, perhaps with more intensity than the half split. The breath is coming freely and fully. Choose your intensity. Good. Inhale, half lift. Right foot steps forward. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, rise to stand, fingertips reach. Root through the right foot and lift the left, high march. Feeling where the hips are at the same height as one another. Cinch the bottom set of ribs. So we're feeling the pelvis come upright as we do this. Shoulders melt down and back. Mula Bandha, pelvic floor engagement. Uddiyana Bandha, low belly. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, warrior 3. Reaching the bottom of the left foot towards the wall behind you. Option for hands to be extended up overhead or bring them to airplane arms. Hips are at the same height. Really checking in with that whole center line. Pelvic floor, low belly, beautiful. Spine is long. Breathe. The standing leg is really assisting you in that activation. As if here the inner thighs were going to be guided towards one another, but you are creating that internal resistance. Good. Inhale, crescent pose. Left foot steps to the back of the mat. Stack the shoulders on top of the hips. Breathe. Zip up through the center line. Again here, guide inner thighs towards one another, as if we're going to roll up the mat underneath of the body. So we feel the right hamstring, right quad really firing up. The back thigh is working here as well. Breathe. So we are collecting energy from the earth. You're feeling it pull up through that center line of the body. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, warrior 3. Any arm variation, yours to decide. Breathe. Right leg is working so hard. Left leg is working too. Feeling where the hips are at the same height. Inhale, high march. Guide the left knee up towards the chest. Hips are at the same height here as well. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale, left foot plants to meet the right. Exhale, forward folds. Find your block. Place it between the knees or thighs. Inhale, chair pose. Guide the thighs or the knees to press to the sides of the block. Seat sinks down, maintaining a neutral tilt to the pelvis. Knees are back. We can see the toes. Good. Beautiful job. Pelvic floor is supporting the strength, supporting the core. You got it. Weight is in the back of the foot. Beautiful. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, twist to face right, keeping shoulders upright. Good. Right hand reaches back, left hand forward. You got it. Still breathing, so strong. Check in with Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale to center, chair pose. Exhale, other side. Left fingertips sweep back, right fingertips forward. Invite the breath. Shoulders down. Feet and inner thighs are strong. Pelvic floor. Beautiful. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Set the block aside. Shake it out. Best news you've heard all day, we have another side. Inhale, rise to stand. Fingertips reach. Root through the left foot. Right knee lifts up. High march. Find that foundation. It begins with the left foot. Spread the toes. Create a base. Hips are at the same height, so really play around with that range of where we're sitting. Bring yourself into that strong support. Inhale. Exhale, warrior three. Send the right foot towards the back wall. Toes angle directly down. Hips are at the same height. We can do a self-check with the hands. Breathe. Standing leg is engaging. Micro bend to the left knee. You got it. Bottom set of ribs, cinch them in. Innermost layer is supporting you in this shape. Yes. Inhale, crescent pose. Stack the shoulders on the hips. Make it feel as though we are binding up the mat underneath of the body. Inner thighs press towards one another. Pull everything up through that center line. So in this practice, it's a continued balance of strength and softness. Tapping into that inner strength while letting ourselves remain soft at the same time. Breathe. Pelvic floor is strong. Exhale, warrior three. Shift forward, drishti moves to the floor. Good. You got it. Center line, check in. Hips are at the same height. Shoulders are at the same height as one another. Inhale, high march. Guide the right knee up. Fingers extend skyward. Beautiful. Hips are at the same height. Create that foundation. Exhale, right foot plants, forward fold. Find your block. Place it between the knees or thighs. Inhale, chair pose. Seat is down and back. Neutral tilt to the pelvis. Release, creating space through the low back. So the front of the pelvis is pressing up towards the ribs. Breathe. Knees are back. We can see the toes. Inhale, fill up. Full exhale, we're still here. Pelvic floor holds you strong. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Set the block aside. Inhale, half lift, reach the heart. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Step the feet back. Plank pose. We'll be here for multiple breaths. I won't tell you quite how long. You have the option to release the knees down to the mat or keep them lifted wherever you are. Setting up that same foundation that we've been setting up in our practice today. Thinking through that center line. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Mindful of the tilts of the pelvis. Breathe. Shoulders down and back. Check in with the mind. Any chatter that might be occurring. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal out the knees. Beautiful. Enjoy this shape. Step the feet forward between the hands and release your seat down to the mat. Legs are out in front of you. Hands are out wide to your sides. We're setting up for boat pose again. Press that lean or find that lean. Good. Lift one foot. Switch. 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 We could do this from the top down. Tap, 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 tap. So choose whichever version feels best for you. Still seeking out that challenge. Making sure we are inviting that challenge into the body in a way that makes sense, especially knowing that we've already been working really hard. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Find your ball. Press back, 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 back. Option to ditch the ball, option to lift the feet. The further back we lean, the more we're giving ourselves in that realm of challenge. If you don't need more, stay further upright. The breath is strong wherever you have guided yourself. Good, we're here for 3, 2, 1. Lower yourself all the way down on your back. Set the ball off to the side. Find a full body stretch. Point the toes. Reach the fingertips. Good. Exhale. Gather the knees into the chest. Big squeeze. Extend the feet up to the sky. Hands root on either side of the hips. Real slow, controlled movements. A big bicycle pedal. One leg at a time. Really checking in with what's happening with the tilts of the pelvis. We want the pelvis to remain neutral. So the pelvis is not rocking front to back. The legs are really the only thing that's moving here. Do your best to keep the head soft against the mat. The work is happening from the chest down. Breathe. You got it. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees to the chest. Squeeze them in nice and tight. Release the knees to the left side. Shift the gaze to the right. Here for just a couple of breaths. Allow the knees to be heavy, really exaggerating length through the right side body in this twist. Exhale, knees to center. Good, and guide them to the other side. Knees to the right, gaze to the left. Full breaths here for 2 cycles. Exhale, knees to the chest. Squeeze them in tight, lift the head up. Maybe the forehead makes contact with the knees. Extend the legs out long. Release the hands down to either side. Close the eyes. Allow the full weight of the body to be surrendered into the mat. Soften the jaw, and the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Limbs are heavy. The breath is free. Allow yourself to be. Soaking in the energy from the practice, the work that you put in to nourish the body. Be here now. Exhale everything out. Inhale. Suspend the breath at the top. One more sip of air. Exhale. Invite subtle movement back to the body. Roll to fetal position on either side. Rise to a seat. Eyes are closed. Exhale everything out. Inhale. Full exhale. The hands together at heart center. We'll bow together. Namaste. Namaste, yogis.